Friday. I'm currently at the office. I came to have a couple of meetings. Before that, there are some trades that I took this week and I would love to share. I shared these trades with my, VIP members and also the people on Telegram as well. So yeah, let's take a look at them. It's Friday. I don't know. The market is going to close obviously on Friday. So I don't know if you're going to have momentum kicking in for the trade that I'm looking at, but I'll share that as well so that you get to see what I'm looking at.
So starting off on EURUSD, this is the daily time frame, and you can see price was just creating higher highs and higher lows. I'm going to show you the trade that I took, but before that I want to show you the thought process that I had to go through before taking those two trades. So yeah, on an uptrend looking for buying opportunities, let's go to the 4-inch time frame. So this is exactly where the market opened for the week at this level, right? So you can see we had an impulse, price pulled back, price shot to the upside, pulled back, so we shot to the upside, obviously looking at correction, and then we joined the trend. So on the 1H, this was supposed to be the first trade, but I missed it. We had an impulsive phase, price corrected right here, and then it shot to the upside. So it was the first trade, but I missed it. Second trade, same thing, right? So we had the impulse, price corrected right here with the continuation pattern. We broke out, and this was the entry. And I also had this level. I was just looking to my left to see if we could have any resistance level to my left. So right here, this level, price acted as a resistance. It's not really clear, but price just retested this area and then dropped massively. So because of that, when I saw price just correcting above that level, I took it into consideration that okay, I have two reasons to be looking for buying opportunities. One, we have a break and retest of this level, and secondly, we have a correction pattern that is telling me that price was going to go to the upside. So right after seeing the breakout, I entered. This was the first trade. The second trade, same approach, same style. So here at this level, we could either expect price to break out. So that is why I have this pattern right here. If we have a breakout right here, we can expect price to continue going to the upside, and that is where we'll be looking for buying opportunities. And that was exactly my entry at this level, right? So yeah, looking to my left again on the daily time frame, this was the resistance that I was looking at, but we were very close to that level. So obviously I was anticipating price to break above that level, since we had a nice correction phase below it. So we had an impulsive phase, a nice correction phase below this level, then we broke this level to the upside impulsively. So when we broke out, obviously we are broken above this resistance, expecting price to at least pull back and give us that same structure again so that we can continue the trend. So this would have been an entry for me. If we had broken above this level, I would have entered right here and expecting price to at least push to the upside, but that's not what happened. Price shot down impulsively, so I had to just take all these things off and then sit back and see what price is gonna do, right? So this morning I just updated my team with this structure, right? I saw a possible left shoulder, a possible head, and a possible right shoulder because of this level, right? On the daily time frame, if you look at this, I showed you we had this area of resistance, right? So I was anticipating, is price gonna push to the upside or price gonna reverse at that level? If it's gonna reverse, I want to see a reversal structure, right? So here, possible left shoulder head, possible right shoulder, but this wasn't a confirmed head and shoulder yet, because if you take a look at this, you need to understand structures as well, right? If you take a look at this, we have a higher high like that, higher low, higher high, price pulled back to the same level. It gave us this is still an uptrend because this low it's not being broken, right? So if you see this, obviously this looks like a head and shoulder, but it's not confirmed yet until the neckline gets broken. This is where we can say, okay, finally price has shifted from an uptrend to a downtrend. So price was here. Trying to sell here is kind of risky because it's still an uptrend, so this was what I was looking at, looking at the sell and looking at the buy opportunities as well. So yeah, I actually got in when price corrected to this level. I saw this engulfing, and then I got in on the lower time frame, such as the 1 minute time frame, expecting price to at least even reach this level. But looking at how price broke out, this is something I teach my mentees. Whenever we have a breakout, we need to see how structure will just follow. You can see right here it was very corrective. Price broke out, we started playing out like this, very corrective, which also gave us another structure that price was just going to push to the upside. Understanding correlation, we have EURUSD right here. This is EURUSD, so we have the E and the U, right? I'm using my hand to draw, so it's not really clear. We have the USD, we have the CHF, right? I made an analysis on USDCHF that I was expecting price to at least reach a level, push to the downside, which means I'm expecting the dollar to push to the downside, right? So if the dollar is going to drop, then obviously right here, if the dollar is going to drop also on EURUSD, then I'm expecting the euro to push to the upside. So I had to go on USDCHF right here, right? This was the entry and this was what I was talking about. So yeah, I'm gonna insert the clip that I was speaking about, this setup right here. So right after the correction, what are we expecting? We're expecting an impulsive move, and that is what we are seeing right now, right? So we can actually expect price to drop more because we are first target will be at this previous low. So once we get breakout, we can just scale in and expect price to drop to the downside. So this USDCHF, the dollar is dropping, right? You can see the dollar is just dropping, so the upside will be on EURUSD as well. So we will just keep an eye on this one. We're gonna wait for price to get here, and then we will see if it will continue to the downside. Yeah, so that was what I was looking at, for price to at least reach this level of support, yeah. So understanding this as well, impulse, correction, impulse, this was what I was just looking at. I was waiting for at least momentum to push price further to the downside. So this is good as well on the daily time frame. When the market opened for the week, we started right here, right? Price had pierced through already. That was last week above this previous high. So we had a higher high, and obviously we were waiting for a higher low before a possible continuation of the trend, right? So that is what happened. Let's go to the 4 week to see the structures as well. So this was the impulse to the upside. This is exactly where the market opened at. So we had to wait for the correction, that is the pullback, and you can see on the 1H we had a nice corrective structure to the downside, right? But you can see also that when price broke through, obviously, yes, we broke the trend line. That is not even the main thing. The structure is the main thing. Lower low, lower high, lower low, price short to the upside, but we never broke above this level. We broke this trend line correctively, right? And then it came down correctively. This was a sign that price was not obviously going to break to the upside, right? And this is where I realized that, okay, there's an impulsive move to the upside from right here to this level. We had a corrective nature, which gave us a sign that price is going to shoot to the upside. And this is a trade I caught live whilst I was recording a vlog, of which you're going to see very soon. But yeah, this was a trade that shot to the upside beautifully. This was the first trade on gold. Price created a higher high, and then we also shot to the downside impulsively, and price started messing up right here, right? So on the daily time frame, this is where I realized that, okay, I'm seeing something else. If you take a look at the structure right here, right, let's start right here. We had a high, price give us a pullback and then shot to the upside. But when we shot to the upside, you can see the candlesticks. This was not a clean pullback. Price was trying to go up. It goes up, gives us a sign of weakness. So right here was a sign of weakness, right? So on the lower time frame, we're gonna see something like an ascending type, ascending channel, something like this. And this is obviously telling us that price is likely to drop, something like that, right? So yeah, if we go back to the daily right here, price had created a higher high, right? So obviously I was anticipating a price to give us a higher low. That is why I had this level right here. Price could obviously just push to the downside, retest these levels, and push to the upside. So I was just anticipating with this ascending channel that I'm seeing, price could just break to the downside and give us that retest at this level and then shoot up, right? So I was anticipating a reversal pattern, and this is when I had to look at this as a left shoulder, a possible left shoulder head, and also a right shoulder, right? So I had this trend line drawn. Let me go to the 1H, which is gonna look very nice. Yeah, so you can see whenever price taps on the trend line, push to the upside, taps on this trend line, pushes to the upside. Price came to tap on this trend line, tried to push to the upside, it couldn't, right? So this is where I was looking at a possible right shoulder at this level, right? So for me to confirm that this was gonna shoot to the downside, I wanted price to at least break below this support and resistance level. You can see price acted as a resistance, support, so I was expecting price to at least one, break the trend line, that is one, and two, retest this level. So this is what I was looking at. Yes, and I shared this setup in my Telegram as well, so I can just show you a playback. You have a left shoulder head and right shoulder. If we break below this level right here, this is actually a second entry. This will be a second entry. At the risk entry will basically be at this level, the current level probably be exactly at this level. You know, price it has even impulsed to the downside a little bit at this level, so this will be a first trade. Yeah, so that was the trade. Price just shot to the downside, which was very, you know, beautiful. So finally price came down to the level that we're looking at on the daily time frame, and price started creating, you know, higher highs and higher lows at this level. I was looking at two things at this level. It's either price will just retest here, you know, and then shoot to the downside, or price will break this trend line and then possibly just give us a pullback, and then we will continue this trend, right? Because this head and shoulder pattern that I spotted was just, or I was just targeting this level, but obviously I cannot tell, you know, I'm not, you know, ahead of the market. Price could have just, you know, retested this level as a level of resistance and then, you know, possibly drop. So I was looking at price action here, but I was also open to price shooting to the upside as well, because on the daily time frame we are still on an uptrend. So yeah, as you can see, price impulse broke this trend line, right? So right now what I'm looking at is price can just, it's Friday, so I'm not looking at this today, but going forward, depending on how the market will close, I'll just wait for a pullback, and then obviously we can continue trading this to the upside.
Yeah guys, so that is it. Those were my thought processes behind every trade that I took and the trade I'm currently in. I hope you learned something from this video as well, and if you did, please make sure you just subscribe, make sure you like this video, and I'll see you next time.